Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
So, Steve, folks, we lost during the week, played 240 first-grade games for Canterbury Bankstown, played in the grand final in 79-80, won in 80 and 84 and 85 and 88, and then coached into a premiership in 2004. So, one of the great Canterbury stalwarts. And away we go for 2018. And Cronk takes the ball, and Warra Hargreaves. First one up, first touch of the ball for season 2018.
Hold, Robbie, hold!
Blake Ferguson, an early touch. They'll be looking for him to do plenty of that during the day to give his forwards a break. Takiaho. Actually, that was Liu. Now Takiaho. So good meters early on for the Roosters. Warra Hargreaves, his second touch. Wrapped up underneath by Brooks. So the last tackle. On to Cooper Cronk. Cronk puts it in the air. It's going to come down underneath for Lolohea.
Just punch that set out there. Matty did the Roosters. Nice easy set. Just rolled down the middle third. Nice kick from Cooper Cronk into a good kick chase. All over to the Tigers, see what they can do for their first set.
So we got Godinay, who got the skip on young McGilrick to start. McGilrick, of course, coming into the bench. There's a ball out now to Godinay. It's a good offload. So Latrell Mitchell collars him and pulls him back. He's a strong boy, Mitchell. He gets bigger every time I see him. I was out at an Anthony Mundine fight not long ago, and I was astonished by the size of him. His wrists, the thickness of his wrists. I think there might be a moment he sticks his head between the front rows at some point in his career, Blocker.
It's a good start here from the Tigers. Just up the short side, a great positional kick there from Brooks. Here's Tedesco.
First touch against his old club, and greeted with some pretty loud hostility. Now Ferguson again, running into Taylor. Trying to find his front to get up quickly to play the ball.
Well, you've got to deter those wingers from running the football at your meat of your defence. The Tigers have got to come off the line and try and put some heat on him.
Now Madison coming in for Cordner. That's Takiaho. So they're going to get into their kick again. Cronk in the air. This has come down for Lolohea. Fires a ball out to Thompson. He takes it well. He's driven back in a tackle there by young Cornish, who's come in for Keary. He still hasn't recovered properly from that broken jaw. So they've got a ball out here. It's Marshall. Steps off his right side.
Isn't it amazing? Just a little bit of a flop back there. A couple of breaks the Tigers have made early.
And here goes Benji. He's taking a quick tap. So that's a really good start for Benji Marshall. Now Packer. His first game for the Tigers. And we've got a penalty again. So the West Tigers with some early momentum.
Yeah, as we spoke about pre-game, the Roosters, home worst enemy with their penalties in the 2017 season. They gave away a lot, and that man, Big Jared, gave away about 29 of them, I think. They gave away too many penalties. Back-to-back penalties there. Just piggyback teams down for some early points for the Tigers. But good start from Benji Marshall. A couple of little confidence touches. Exactly what he needed in that new jersey of his.
Gee, I like seeing the front rowers take each other on. Packer just looked up and he saw Warra Hargreaves straight in front of him and said, "Here I come, son. Let's get it on."
No, I like Packer. And obviously, Ivan Cleary is a fan of Packer. He's got him over. Of course, Packer, Elijah Taylor, and also Madalino were part of Ivan's 2011 gay grand final against Manly. So Ivan's recruited with people that he trusts and he knows are going to give an effort. So I'll be looking to those three guys today to provide some leadership. They've all been around a long time. So Lolohea strikes it well. So we've got the first points of the 2018 season to the West Tigers with Lolohea. 4.5 minutes gone.
Welcome to the team, Maddie. Gents, perfect conditions this afternoon, 24 degrees. There's a slight breeze at the backs of the Roosters this afternoon. The only blemish on the day, a few divots on the field from the game before. Other than that, it should be a fast track.
Well, thank you for that. I'm very, very happy to be here at Fox. Something that I can say wasn't in the plans. I feel very, very fortunate to be here. So I feel in very, very safe hands with the men next to me and the guys down on these sidelines. So happy days. Away we go again. Latrell Mitchell starts us off. And here we go with Packer.
Out together!
Mitchell!
Hold!
This is young Eisenhuth who's come in.
Off the ball! Hold!
Plenty of raps on this young fella. Now Taylor. That's Rouch out. Taylor again. Ball in two hands. It's a little bit of space up that right-hand side. Masters. So the ball in the air from Brooks. Straight down the throat of Ferguson. So where does he go?
That's about a simple set you can have for the Tigers, and so effective. It's just a wrap set. Roll, roll, roll. They got to Cornish pretty easy from Robbie Rockow.
And we got a piggyback penalty here, so that's not going to make Ivan happy.
Yeah, it's all right, but I was set here and no one was behind me.
Fairly even, boys. Both sides kicking well, getting to their kicks. Only the one error so far.
I think it's good tactics here from the Tigers too. A lot of dummy half running in their own half because of the massive pack that the Roosters possess. Let's see what they can do now, the Roosters with the footy. First time that they'll venture into the half of the West Tigers.
Here we go with Takiaho. Clock beats one. Godinay wrapped him up. So his first shot at the line. This is Cornish off the right. Gets the ball back to Friend. Friend to Tedesco and then to Mitchell. So some second phase play for the Roosters. Friend. This is Tedesco again. He pushes away from Marshall. The tackle for good position here, and we've got another penalty.
Too slow, son.
Well, I'm sure the Roosters would have preferred the ball to have been passed and played on.
Well, this is two sets of set starts, and they looked really good there, the Roosters. Little Melbourne play, Cooper Cronk, inside, outside. Half break for himself.
Now, this is a challenge to the Tigers. First time on their goal line defence. They've got to put it to them, the Roosters. They've got to hang on here.
So Hargreaves is only about 5 metres out. Cronk. This is Tedesco. Back to Friend. Now to Takiaho, who straightens it up. So they've got options either side. They go to the left. Short ball. Oh, Cornish has got it. No.
We got knocked on Roosters. Knocked on Roosters.
Yeah, just
Scrum. Everyone's up.
caught Madison's hand. Madison threw a hand out. Propelled forward. There's a nice shape there. Little block shape.
Yeah, if Cooper Cronk holds that ball up just a second longer and goes out the back, it was a nice flat straight runner. If the ball goes out the back, he goes over unopposed.
We're down onto the sideline with Corey Parker. Corey.
It's a very exciting start from both sides there. Look for more of that from Cooper Cronk to hit the edges of the West Tigers. Of course, last year was a major concern of theirs, their defensive edge. They had 46 tries scored down both edges last year, so look for more of that.
Taylor. This is Lawrence. Fires a ball on Aguama. He gets rid of Ferguson. Taylor again. Eisenhuth. He's a size. That kid. Now Lawrence. Second touch in this set. Godinay. Now to Benji Marshall. He puts it on the toe. He's going for the sideline. Tupu's going to get it. He's going to fire it back to Tedesco with some room to move. He beat Rouch out.
How quickly the West Tigers fans forget. It'll be part of their game plan today. Teddy won't mind that. Very experienced player, big game player. Really enjoy the battle out here this afternoon.
Liu with a very flat pass from Friend. Now Warrior Hargreaves again. Finds his stomach. Getting up to play the ball quickly. They're probably winning the ruck area at the moment, the Roosters. They're finding their stomachs and getting up a little quicker than the Tigers, so they're making more momentum, gaining more momentum. This is Cooper Cronk with the ball in the air. Underneath it is Thompson.
Just having a look at the Tigers getting back too. They've given all early in this game of footy. I'm counting 5 or 6 players that haven't got back behind the ball yet. That's a bad sign.
Now Marshall again with a bit of space after an offload. Looking good, Benji. Now Lolohea. Watani Zalesniak coming in looking for some work. Now to Guama. They're good meters. The Roosters are slowing him up, though, much more than the Tigers are them. Now Packer. That's a better run and a quick play. The ball is exactly what they needed. Brooks, Lawrence puts it on the toe. Tedesco's going to get it. And Nguama's got him.
Geez, you wouldn't mind kicking off the back of that. Play the ball from Russell Packer.
It was a great
nice
one.
And direct. Had plenty of time, Brooks, to do whatever he wanted with that.
So Ferguson, Tupu. This is where they're so effective, the Roosters, with both big men, Ferguson and Tupu. So they've got a loose ball there now to Madison. So it's a bit of an arm wrestle with 12 minutes gone, and we've got another penalty here. Well, what have we got here?
Jake, just back in.
Peter's got the mark. Come back.
Guys, onside. Jared, just come back for us, mate. When you're ready, Cooper.
So what was that for? I missed that.
I think it was inside the 10 metres. The Tigers jumped the gun. I think that's the second time
Thanks, mate.
early in this game that they've done that. It's an easy get out of trouble now for the Roosters.
Expect the Roosters are 6 from 6, 100% on the back of some pretty disciplined play with the ball. Get this one out. It's been a fair start for them with the ball.
Cronk. Now Cornish, good hands. Oh, he's almost intercepted. Manu on to Ferguson, who's got some space down the side. They've got support on the inside. Oh, Tedesco's dropped it. Oh, you wouldn't read about that. 99 times out of 100 he catches that. And the Tigers fans are giving him hell.
I'll tell you what, he is good at looming and just reading the play and knowing there's something on back on the inside. He should have caught this one. A nervous grab here from Tedesco. Wasn't the greatest of pass. Good players catch those ones.
Just floated that one in from Blake Ferguson, but how good does Blake Ferguson look down here? Outsprinted him easy, got round Lawrence, the ex-outside back. He's now playing as a back rower.
It's so unfortunate there for Tedesco, but a worrying sign down that edge there.
They've carved them up on both sides of the field so far. Just haven't been able to come away with the try yet.
Well, Corey alluded to that they're vulnerable down the edges. And they got shown up there. This is Elijah Taylor. Now Rauchow. I saw a wonderful piece with Fox on Fox during the week with the West Tigers, and if anything, they looked very, very happy, a lot of laughing and joking. So they're galvanised. There's a lot of solidarity there, and it augurs well for a good season. Now Packer. So ball high in the air. Tedesco takes that easily. Now Ferguson. Tupu. So just under 15 minutes gone. That's a good run from Liu. Trying to find his stomach to get up quickly. Orbison. Oh, it's a good hit underneath by Brooks. Takiaho. So that's a good set so far for the Roosters. Cronk puts the ball in the air. Wallahi is back there, takes it.
Can you imagine how dangerous the Roosters pack could be if they can find a pass? Just that little flop back or a little offload, that'll break up the defence even worse.
Marshall, now to Lolohea. Watani Zalesniak coming in to give him a hand. So, as I said, a bit of an arm wrestle at the moment. Nguama. So they've got themselves into some good field position on the fourth tackle. Let's see what Marshall comes up with. Packer, Taylor, Marshall, now Lolohea. Steps off the right foot, but he's taken pretty easily there by Cornish. Liu and Friend. Marshall again, he's going to put that into touch. So, if nothing else, they get a bit of a break.
This shows you where the headspace is at. Probably on both the teams at the moment. Just reassess, refocus. It's been a battle. It's been a territory game at the moment. So you can get the ascendancy in and around the middle of the ruck and in the turf.
Well, I like what I'm seeing. The Tigers are getting into a grind. I haven't seen that for the last few seasons. I know it's only early in the game, but the Roosters, pretty dominant pack out there at the moment. The Tigers are handling them all right.
Well, they're staying with them, Blocker.
Let's go, guys. 10 seconds.
Hold it, give me a
Head in,
tip.
Jake.
Hold Elijah. Hold it.
Head in, stay bound,
So
Tigers.
Cornish is going to feed this. So they've both had a bit of a break there. Quite purposefully.
What's his name?
Ferguson.
Down Elijah. Here it is, loose. Hold, go.
Now Tupou.
Stand together.
So almost just over 15 minutes gone in play. This is Liu
Move Elijah.
Together, Graham.
finding his front. Friend, Cronk. And they're all over him.
Now
It's
Luke.
Packer and Brooks.
Hold.
Maria Hargreaves, support in the middle with Tedesco, who's looming around. Friend calls him one way, goes the other. Puts the ball on the toe. Lolohea is going to get back there. And he's going to let that go. So
Wait,
20.
Wade's offside. Elijah,
Yeah,
wait.
Jake Friend, if he's going to do that kick, he's got to get it right. He's 7 tackles now. The West Tigers will probably get an attacking kick in after this one. Well, they should.
I do like it when you've got options in your kicking game too, not just reliant on Cooper Cronk. The play was right, execution probably wasn't there.
Yeah, 100% there, Blocker. And as you mentioned, Bedsy, last year, probably cost him a few times in big games. You'll need to fix that up.
Nguama, he's been busy with the West Tigers coming out of their own end. But the Roosters are controlling the play the ball well. Much better than the Tigers at the moment. They're managing to get them on the back and hold them down. So if there's any momentum at the moment, it's slightly with the Roosters. Inside ball, that'll be 6 again if they can dive on it. 0 tackle, so they're walking some of the Tigers. Block.
Yeah, not that much of urgency to get back into position.
Rocco gets his head through.
I'll tell you what they are doing. They're fighting to play the ball. When they get on that front foot, up that short side, they're causing some problems.
This is Thompson. It's a handy little run out of dummy half. And offloads. This has got an A. Now he fires it back. No one wanted it there. It's to Marshall. He comes back the other way. Elijah Taylor goes forward. So this is a grand opportunity here. Middle field. 3rd tackle. They go to Marshall. Puts it on the toe. This is going to be a try. No. Masters chase through.
Well, the bounce of the ball just beat Masters. It just kicked. Beautiful little touch from Benji, but it just takes off there. It gets batted out by Tupou.
Well, that's the secret. Make them play at the ball at the back there. Benji Marshall. Beautiful little kick there in behind. A great chase too. That was from Masters. Put the pressure on. Tupou had to hit it dead in goal.
Stay on. Stay on.
So the first repeat set of the game coming the way of the West Tigers. 20 minutes gone. Let's see what they can do. Packer. So, Warrior Hargraves is lining him up on every occasion. Eisenhuth. So what can they come up with here? Godinay, Benji Marshall, inside to Rocco. He's been looking dangerous. Brooks, dummies to Eisenhuth, goes again. Fires it out now. We got Lolohea with the ball. He bounces off one, straightens up. So the Tigers looking dangerous. Fourth tackle, gets up quickly. Lawrence, no, he's lost the ball. It was a pressure pass.
Knock on Tigers.
Caught in two minds there. Godinay and both Lawrence as well. Lawrence thought he was going to put the ball on the foot from Godinay, shaped up. Probably would have been a better option.
He read it well too, Cooper Cronk. He didn't just wait on his line. That's how Melbourne used to play. Get off the line and put some pressure on. And it was the pressure of Cooper Cronk on Lawrence that makes him drop the football.
Make sure you're bind up, mate.
Guys, keep coming in. You're on the clock. Move over.
Wait for it, Robbie.
Both coaches looking to bring some interchange on. We got Madalino coming up, and that man, the captain, Boyd Cordner, looming up on the sideline to make his way on for the 2018 season.
Thanks, Corey.
Stand, Russell! Elijah!
So they've had a couple of opportunities down that end now. The West Tigers haven't been able to convert. They still lead 2-0. This is Takiaho. They go to the left to Warrior Hargraves onto Madison. And he gets up over the halfway or close to it. Now Warrior Hargraves. Greaves. So last tackle. Goes to Cornish, who puts it high in the air. Thompson's underneath it. He jumps. And Latrell Mitchell tidies him up. Masters.
In front of you. Involved.
Batani Zalesniak. And we've got a penalty. So
Stay there, I'll go.
Big Benny Madalino just comes on for the West Tigers to make his debut at the club. Someone that will make a difference. Comes on for his front row partner in Russell Packer.
If they had one more big bopper on the bench, you could start with these two guys. Imagine them two in tandem.
Geez, the Roosters have just been happy to get through their sets, haven't they? They haven't really shown too much. Had a shot down here on the right where Ferguson skipped through for that missed opportunity with Tedesco. But other than that, he's been happy just to punch the ball forward, kick at the end.
There's Madalino. Played well over 200 first-grade games for the Warriors before coming here. He's had a couple of seasons in the wilderness out of the reps of the New Zealand national side, so he'll be looking for a big season here. This is Eisenhuth. Brooks. Aguama. It's taken high there by Manu. Batani Zalesniak. So the last tackle, they're only 1.5 meters out. Brooks. Marshall. Oh, he's cut out two people there looking for Thompson, and he's lost it.
Something a little bit different there from the Tigers that time. Just mix it up a little bit, as again, early in the season, the execution not there.
We're going to go down to Hannah Hollis. Hannah, what's it like down there?
Gents, so much noise on the sideline. So Jared Warrior-Hargraves got in Russell Packer's ear very early on in the game, and you can see Hargraves lining up Packer every chance he gets. But the biggest noise coming from the crowd is every time James Tedesco gets the ball, they boo him when he touches it. But the cheer of the day came from when he fumbled that ball and missed the Roosters' try-scoring opportunity.
Thanks, Hannah. It's Takiaho. We've got a forward pass, so the Tigers are going to get another opportunity here.
Have been pretty flat too. Flat and fast is the way to go with big men now. We just talked about a little bit rusty early in the season.
Just need to play upstream there to Jake Friend. Instead of playing the sideline, just play upstream. Takes the pressure off him a little bit.
You mean taking a few steps forward?
Yeah,
first?
going forward. But they're winning the battle of the possession. 53% or 55% now, the West Tigers.
Trent Robinson and JT, Jason Taylor.
You just got to hang in here long enough now. 15 minutes to go before half-time. A few errors will start to creep in now through fatigue.
Lolohea, Watani Zalesniak. There's a lot of pressure on the Roosters this year, boys. They won a grand final in 13, 14 and 15. They were minor premiers. They had a crook year in 16. They got the ball back here. There's some numbers out here. This is Tupou. Tupou gets around from one. Still going. And they tidy him up. So against the run of play.
There's a loose pass from Nguama, skipping across field, looking for some in the middle third.
Now Napa, fresh legs. There's an article written about him and Waria Hargreaves coming up with a pack for this year to galvanise that Roosters scrum. This is Orbison. So real chance here. Cronk puts the ball on a toe. Nguama should get back there, he will, but this is a repeat set coming up for the Roosters.
Used to Billy Slater back on the inside there, Cronk. He kicked, no one chasing through.
He's sitting on his pocket, though. Block is James Tedesco. Look at him just there, just on his inside. That will open up. I'll keep posing that question. Someone will knock off. Nguama did a good job tracking back.
So that's 26 minutes gone for their first attacking kick. We've got a bit of claret coming out of Cooper Cronk's nose that's had an absolute work over the last couple of years. So Benji will restart play. We'll see what happens here. So Ferguson stops it with a toe. Takiaho. Cronk. Cornish. Good ball on the corner. He's on, the captain. Miffed while he started from the bench. Now Napa gets to his front again, so he's playing the ball quickly. This is where they're winning the battle. Cornish, quick hands from Tedesco. He batted it on. Tupou. And Rocco tidies him up. It's a tackle 4. They're looking fatigued as well, the Roosters. Madison tries a wrong foot, Madalino.
Good.
So he puts it in the air, Cronk. Ferguson, he got some good.
Tackle's complete. You're on the ground, you've got a hand on you. It's a changeover.
We talk about Latrell Mitchell out there on the left, who hasn't had any clean ball to show his skill or wares, but Joey Manu, Joseph Manu here, the number 4 for the Roosters. A huge talent. Gets up high, so athletic.
Well, they've got such athleticism in those 3 people, or 4 people. Manu, Mitchell, Ferguson. They can all leap. And when you're standing still and they're getting that momentum, it's almost impossible to stop them from at least competing with the ball and a chance to bring it down. Madalino.
Up Dylan, boy! Hold! Hold! Go, 3. Jake, Mitch together! Hold, go.
So Marshall puts the boot to the ball. Ferguson's got it.
Well, that's the first real big win here for the Roosters, up over the halfway line on 0 tackle. A tired set from the Tigers, and on the back of that now, the Roosters get the penalty. Cronk trying to play on quickly here.
So you just get the feeling with 11 minutes to go, the Roosters have got some momentum.
Yeah, they're trying to run a lot of shapes around that left edge. Boyd Cordner, Tedesco. Yeah, just the attributes of Latrell Mitchell, that big right-hand fend. If you get it on the out, some sort of ball, we'll see what they can do here.
So Tedevano, another fresh player out there. Cronk. Short ball onto Madison. So Rocco over the top with Taylor. Now Cornish. was Tedesco. They go down the short side with Friend. So on tackle 4, they're a metre out. Lost in the shadows a bit here. Cronk, Cornish, short ball, Tedavano. Quick hands from Cronk to Madison. He gets away from one, puts it on the toe. And Thompson is back to force it.
Good kick pressure for Robbie Rocco there. Comes up really quick on Cooper Cronk. He had to bat it on.
Well, that's been a highlight in the first half here from the Tigers. They haven't stood back and waited for the Roosters to come to them. As you mentioned, Robbie Rocco's the man that put the pressure on, but the outside men followed in. Forced to kick. They'll get the repeat set now.
So there we are, up on the box. So here we go. So restart of play. Orbison takes it. It's not a great kick.
Just waiting for the next play. He's skipping on the outside there, Orbison. Waiting for someone to push up into a hole.
So now we go with Napa. Rocco and Taylor tidy him up. Cronk. Cornish. Madison. So tackle 3. Cronk again. Cornish. It's a good ball to Cordner. Nearly got his nose through. Quick play the ball needed here. Friend. Tedavano. Last tackle, that was a great tackle underneath by Madalino. Now Cronk puts it in the air. Manu's there, so's Ferguson. Ferguson gets it, throws it back in field. Manu has it. And Nguama tidies him up. So good defence from the West Tigers.
Well, they stayed up. That was the secret there. The crossfield kick. Let Ferguson have first grab on it. Going to get the ball back on the inside. Nguama stays up and makes the tackle. Great defence. Highlight of the first half for the Tigers. Bit of grit.
You can see there's a bit of a change in the way the Roosters are attacking. It's very sequenced. Go here to go there. Not really playing much ad lib. It'll take a while. It'll take a couple of weeks to get that style sorted.
Watani Zelezniaki offloads Nguama. You can see Orbison just working for a position on the field. Thompson.
100% right with what you were saying there, Danny. As you mentioned, Cooper Cronk's style of football does like to play that structure, but one thing they are doing well is they are completing their sets and being patient.
So McGilrick out of dummy half, he's fresh. So is Twal, who's out there. Lolohea fires the ball out to Rocco. Thompson. So the last tackle, good metres made on this one by the Tigers. So Marshall puts it in the air. He's got a spiral on it. So underneath it is Ferguson. He takes it. He took it well. So Manu. Got a good set from the Tigers there. Tupou. (2-0). Not sure anyone would have picked that after almost 35 minutes of play. Cronk, that's inside the 40. It's going to roll down. Oh my God, what a kick. So that's brilliant from Cooper Cronk.
Good heads-up play from Cooper Cronk. Perfect timing in the match. 6 minutes to go. Really got something up their sleeve here. Surely they can get a couple of good players one-on-one.
Well, they've done well to hang on, but they've been put under the pump, haven't they, the West Tigers? The 40, 20, watch everyone get the energy off that.
Napa. Brilliant play from Cronk to put them where they are now, just before half-time. This is in with the ball. Orbison. Good tackle underneath by Brooks. Napa again. Fires it back to Friend. Friend is taken by McGilrick and he's put back. So it was a clever little pass from Napa. McGilrick manages to slow that down. This is Cornish, dummied and went himself. Friend again, same side, Cordner, Mitchell, Tupou. Stepping, going backwards. And the Tigers, there's 4 of them, and they're going to put him into touch. Well done, West Tigers.
Have a look at the numbers around the player with the football there. Tupou it is that comes up with the error. They just keep coming forward, the Tigers.
Well, they look so well organised in their defensive structures and on their line. Working so well together. Beautiful 40-20 there from Cooper. But under pressure, the West Tigers come up trumps. Turn the Roosters away again.
And they look frustrated, the Roosters. They've had plenty of opportunities.
Well, that's a great shot. Have a look at the Tigers coming in for the kill here.
There hasn't been a clean line break all match. So the defence on both sides, holding. This is Watani Zelesniak. So 4.5 minutes left in the first half. If the Tigers can get to the break at 2-0, they'll be more than happy. Brooks. Inside to Twal. Madalino. Elijah Taylor, he goes forward. Taken heavily over the top by Madison. Brooks puts it in the air. Going down the throat of Ferguson. So he's got some space to wind up. A good tackle underneath by Madalino. Now Tedesco. Booed.
They'll get a standing ovation at half-time. The Tigers, if they can hang on here.
Cordner, that's a good run. Finds his front, gets up quickly. Tedavano. That's better from the Tigers, getting him on the back and slowing it up. That was Madalino. Cornish. Dummies inside. Tidied up by Benji. So last tackle. Ball's going to go in the air. No, penalty to the West Tigers. What have we got going on here?
He'll play with his foot. That's the rule of the week, and hopefully that stays for a long time. It's a bit of a turning point, gone from an attacking kick. A nice kick down there from Luke Brooks. Plenty of yards in that one.
So the last time the West Tigers went to half-time leading the Roosters was the semi-final in 2010 with Brandon Astor kicked that field goal, and when there was that hit, remember that hit? Dwyer on Waria Hargreaves.
Put him in row 28.
Oh. Now Madalino. So the Tigers ideally like some more points here before half-time. Brooks. It's a tackle 3. McGilrick. Marshall puts the ball on the toe. Are they going to get a repeat set here? They will, with 2 minutes left in the first half. Good play. A lot of experience there from Benji Marshall. Beautifully weighted. And Ferguson had no choice.
He's been able to score a couple here in the first half, Benji Marshall. A nice little dab in there and behind. Has to play it at Ferguson. They've been training all the summer now. Let's see if they can come up with something special just on the half-time.
Well, it's been a grind, like you said, Blocker. And the Tigers are in it. They're grinding. So, Latrell Mitchell.
The kick score, play on.
Here we go with Madalino. So he's straight into Tedavano, Napa, and also Madison. Twal. So just over a minute to play now. Elijah Taylor, Brooks. Beautiful ball onto Lawrence. So 10 metres out, tackle 3. McGilrick, Madalino, Brooks. Goes back the other side. Props, tries to get away from Orbison, throws it nowhere. Picked up from Marshall, calls them inside. Rocco, he'll straighten up. Forced tackle. Brooks comes back the other side. This is Lolohea, puts it on the ground, and Tedesco tidies it up. So it looks like we're going to go to the first half at 2-0.
Well, that was some sort of positional play there from Tedesco at the back, just anticipating the little grubber kick through. Something a little bit different from the Tigers, but Tedesco too good at the back.
So Cordner. A beautiful ball on the inside to Tedesco. And that's half-time. So after 40 minutes of grinding football, we got the West Tigers leading 2-0. So Latrell Mitchell, he's going to kick us off. The second half, 2-0, the Tigers lead. So here we go. With Eisenhuth. Lawrence. So there's going to be some points, you would think, this second half. You wonder where the first momentum shift's going to be. Marshall into Rocco, who's been strong. Madalino. Madison underneath, he finds his front. This is Twal. Still got Cheekham on the bench, who hasn't come on yet, so he'll be fresh when he gets a turn. Marshall puts it in the air. He's got a bit of a spiral on it. Tupou takes it straight into McGilwraith. Quick play the ball. Now Ferguson drops the hip and he's straight through. Ferguson's away. He comes to Lolohea. He beats Lolohea, but Brooks has got him. Great run from Ferguson. Gets up and plays it quickly. This is going to be a penalty.
Straight over Elijah Taylor. Did Blake Ferguson go? Just dropped the hip. As he does, he runs at speed. So direct. We've got 10 minutes in the bin here.
We've got a bin. So who's gone there?
Gee, it's very hard. It's Brooks that gets the 10 minutes in the sin bin.
Brooks.
Peter's got the mark, Jake.
You've got to roll away after you make the tackle. Well, obviously, the first instinct is to hang on.
No warning there, round one. Oh.
This team to try scoring opportunity. Yes, it was. It's a retreating defence.
But he's got caught up in the play the ball there and just knocked the ball towards his own goal line.
Look, it's going to be a Herculean effort if the West Tigers now, with 12 men, can hold out the Sydney Roosters. Look, in years gone by, that's not a sin bin. I mean, it's a sin binnable offence. It's a professional foul, but they've been pretty lax on it.
There's a couple of surprises here. I guess a few eyebrows with that 10 in the bin, but going for goal here to make it 2-2 early in the second half.
Is it worth 10 minutes, that, but?
Oh, look, you can only go on, draw a line through the previous seasons, and that would not have been, he wouldn't have been sin bin. Look at this run. Dropped the hip, got around Lolohea. Luke Brooks did very well.
It's a big man to bring down too for the little fella.
He's looking in sensational form, Blake Ferguson. Physical shape.
Size of his thighs. There's another one who's just getting bigger and bigger. Tupou, Mitchell, and Blake Ferguson, and then Manu. Latrell Mitchell makes it 2-2, and they've got 9.5 minutes with 12 men, the West Tigers.
Well, it's going to be a tough 10 minutes here, boys, for mine. I thought that was a very, very hard call. It wasn't as if he was just laying in the ruck. He was on his way out, accidentally got the ball, but big 10 minutes coming up here.
A funny decision, too, to take the 2, I reckon, when you got the opposition down to 12 under the pump. Anyway.
What does that say about them? I mean, they're down to 12 men, the West Tigers. You'd think on any given day they would have had a shot at them. Strange decision. Anyway. That might work into the psychology of the Roosters at the moment and how they're feeling. Napa. Straight into Twal and Taylor. Ferguson. We'll be having nightmares about him.
He'll come into his own now, Cooper Cronk, just picking the Tigers apart here. You watch.
This is Madison. We're going to go down to Hannah.
Thanks, Maddie's coach's update from halftime. Ivan Cleary's happy with the defence of his team, but he wants them to be patient and build pressure. As for Trent Robertson, he wants the Roosters to pick up the tempo and keep completing.
This is Cordner. Thanks, Hannah. Last tackle. Good metres, as you'd expect, with only 12 men. Cornish puts it on the toe, and Lolohea recovers the ball. Masters.
Gee, I was surprised the Tigers didn't have Nofaluma in their side. Last 3 seasons, wonderful player bringing the ball back after kicks.
They just called the reserve grade game, the Intrust Super Premiership, and he scored a bagged a double there, block out of Nofaluma. They've definitely got some depth at the club this year, especially in the outside backs.
Twal. He's been good since coming on, been busy. Madalino. Looking to offload. Well, Taylor was there. Finds his front. Marshall. Kicks it into the corner. Tupou fields it. Well, that's a good tackle from Thompson underneath. Mitchell. Rare run from dummy half. It's a good shot over the top there.
It's a rare run. It's good to see the ball in his hand. Nice to get a clean ball for him.
Tedesco straight into Benji Marshall. The crowd responds. Cordner. Across field, straightens up. Elijah Taylor's there. Cronk. Down into the corner, finds some space. Wrongfoot's Lolohea the bounce. He unloads onto Wantani Zelazniak. The Guama. Lolohea in a dummy half. This is Taylor. Well, that's a good tackle from Orbison. I read today in some of these statistics, Mitchell Orbison is number 3 as far as all-time games go for the Sydney Roosters / Eastern Suburbs, behind only Luke Ricketson and Anthony Minicello.
What a tradesman.
He's a hell of a player. Very effective in all areas, in most positions. Such a handy acquisition for Trent Robinson and his Roosters team.
This is Essen Masters. So the Tigers, they've got to about 5 minutes with only 12 men, and that's a good kick from Marshall, so they'll soak up some time here, get a rest.
Yeah, a little bit of game management there, some experience coming out there for Benji Marshall. He's trying to slow things down, watch the Tigers walk to the scrum.
That's good football. Take as much time as they can while they're down to this 12 men.
No,
you've got to need one more.
No, they're right, Bads, they're right.
Just need one more.
No, head in.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, clock off now.
Yeah, sorry,
Time on.
So time back on.
Out. Yours.
Ferguson looking for more work. So 2 clean line breaks for him.
Up together now, Alex.
Devastating run a couple of minutes ago. Tupou.
Alex!
Robbie, square.
Square. Hold.
Twal over the top. Madison. Good contact up the front there from Lawrence, and they force him back. This is good defence from the Tigers.
Matt off the ball.
They get him to his back. They slow it down. Friend. Cronk. Showing the ball.
Kevin,
To me!
Elijah Taylor got him. They go down the same side with Manu. Well, that's a good tackle underneath from Madalino. Friend puts it up high. They've got chasers here. Latrell Mitchell's chasing. Up goes Thompson and takes it well. And we've got a penalty here to the West Tigers, so
Wait, you've got to play offside.
they're frustrated a little bit, the Roosters, I think.
keep going, Ben.
Well, the Tigers have just got to keep turning up too. The highlight there in that set was Madalino's tackle.
Great tackle.
Just put himself...
And it needed to be made, a front rower. Out on that right edge.
It's the sort of thing that Mitchell's got to get out of his game there, just thinking that he can pick someone up and drag him 20 metres into the goal area.
Well, that's just frustration, I think, Blocker. And you can see it on some of the faces. A fairly good indication of what they're thinking is down to 12 men, 20 metres out with a penalty, and they had a shot at goal. When would you see that happen with the Roosters in previous seasons? So, Rocco, who's been one of the best for the Tigers. Twal. It's a good shot over the top. They get him to his back. Taylor. Drops the hip in a corner.
Two of these games missing is probably Josh Reynolds. Enthusiasm, the intensity of Josh Reynolds, just someone just to bring it up a little bit. I'm happy just to go through the motions here.
Yeah, and a lot of players live off that energy, don't they? Good.
Look, they've still got McQueen to come back into the side as well. And that's another good kick from Marshall. So you're right, boys, some game management coming in here, some experience.
I do like it when he runs the ball. He's just taken control over the last 10 minutes of grubber kicks to the line, but geez, he's taken the clock back, hasn't he, Benji, this afternoon?
And very purposefully, you know. As soon as they had that Luke Brooks into the sin bin, he really has, as soon as they've had the ball in their hands, played the clock down and been very, very smart with what he's done. You can't beat experience.
And you can't beat having your own timing the 10 minutes in the sin bin.
You've been in that position a few times, Blocker.
I think I was in for 5 minutes more than 10. Geez, it was a good breather, but...
Now we got a penalty. Oh, it's back to the Tigers here. So what are they going to do here? Do they soak it up with a shot at goal and wait for Brooks to come back?
Yeah, the call's going down to the sideline for 2 points here.
I think that's the play. It's unlikely they're going to bust the line with 12 men.
Well, you've got to take the two, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Right in front. Got 28 out.
At half-time, there's a really big discussion between Jake Frandon and the referees down there. It went on for a good couple of minutes.
I think Jake Friend was talking about my players make an attempt to put it on his foot. That's not the rule now.
So Marshall was very vocal there with Chris Lawrence on what to do. So Luke Brooks must be close to his 10 minutes. It's a pretty scary dude on his left-hand shoulder there.
Yeah, out of the Blues Brothers.
With the shades on. So we've got 40 seconds left for Brooks and he's back on.
As far as managing it, someone in the bin and 12 men on the field, they've done that perfectly. The West Tigers, on the back of Benji. The full complement back.
So Lolohea. Kicked it. No, he's missed it. So a let off there for the Roosters.
Maybe try to take a little bit too much time then.
So Luke Brooks is back on. So Mitchell gets us underway again. Batani Zalesniak. Twal. That's a good run from Madalino.
You know, if my Tigers go on and win this one, I'm going to call myself an imbecile. I'm never back against them again.
The Guama.
Stop thinking, Block. You're always with the heart. You know, it's like...
Batani Zalesniak. Lolohea. Now to Rocco. Tries to shrug away from Cornish, and we've got a changeover.
One thing I'm very impressed with in the opening stages of round one here with the Tigers boys is their composure. We saw Luke Brooks go to the bin there for 10, and up steps Benji Marshall with his experience, just winding down the clock. That was after, as we see a little knock-on in the play the ball. Great opportunity here for the Tigers.
But you've got to make them pay now. You've got the opportunity. The good sides make you pay. When the opposition comes up with those sort of errors, they're under the pump, the Roosters.
Trent Robinson not happy up there.
Just because of the attitude of the Tigers. You see them all come in there, backslapping, really enjoying that moment. This is the stuff that's going to get them home, or at least get them some sort of points at least.
So there we are.
Is that us?
That's you, blocker. So there we got the ball. Marshall, Lolohea, Naguama. Oh. So they dropped it on the first through Watani Zelezniak. And now Napa has the ball. Well, the idea was right.
A little bit too nervous, aren't they, the Tigers?
Now Ferguson.
Great run.
They get him on his back. Madison. So we've had 15 minutes of the second half. Tedavano, that's a good run. Finds his front. Friend, Cronk, Orbison. Great tackle, Naguama. Madison. Rocco's got him. Looking to offload. He does to Cronk. And then McGilwrick ties him up. So plenty of enthusiasm in defence from the West Tigers. That was Cornish who kicked it. I don't think I'd ever would have said this, but the Roosters look a bit rudderless.
They sure do. A couple of things that need to get resurrected out there for that team. One of them's running hard, running direct, running straight, and then get on the back of a good kick chase.
Yeah, look at Elijah Taylor there, just showing what the Tigers need there. Someone just chasing through on the kickers. It's a little energy play that you need to do. Good play from him.
And that's his 42nd tackle of the match. And we've still got 25 minutes left to play. He's worked tirelessly. Eisenhuth. Benji. Puts it into the corner. They're chasing hard. Tedesco slips. And they've got him a couple of metres out. Masters over the top. Tupou. Good shot from Masters, and they come from everywhere. So the Roosters are bunched. The momentum with the Tigers. Napa. Eisenhuth over the top. They get him on his back. They don't need a piggyback penalty here, the Tigers. Oh, there we go. Tedavano's lost it, and Brooks has it. So that's what they were working for. McGilwrick, Naguama, zero tackle. Marshall. This is Twal. So what do they come up with here? Eisenhuth takes it up the centre. He's still driving, Eisenhuth. Got options both sides. They go to the left with Brooks. Brooks fires it out to Lolohea. He had support on the outside. He chose not to use it. Only a metre out. Tackle 4. Naguama. Brooks puts it on the toe, chasing through. This will be a try, is it? Benji Marshall, I think, has got it down. There was a mistake in the in-goal area with Tedesco. They're going to go upstairs.
Just check that they ground it first or it's simultaneous.
We're going to try.
Can you confirm a simultaneous grounding here, please?
Tigers kick chase is onside.
say Cornish gets his hand to that first.
I've got to say he has too.
Yeah. So
if he didn't get that little bobble on the way through with his legs, Benji Marshall,
See,
he
Mitch
scores.
Cornish gets his hand to the ball and grounds it before Benji Marshall's hand. We have a decision.
So this will be no try.
In here before it goes in goal.
There'll be a drop out to restart play.
What was that, Goffis? Do we have a knock on by James Tedesco before it goes in goal? As in it's going to be a scrum.
Thanks, mate. We've got no try. Grounded by Mitch Cornish. Goal line drop out. Thanks, guys.
Oh, Badge, you said try, son.
Yes, mate.
All right. Stay on side, guys. You good, guys?
I'd love to see the ruling when they go, oh, look, I don't know. Instead of trying to make a decision. How could you tell he got his hands there first?
That's a massive drop out from Latrell Mitchell. And this is Twal who takes it up. Now Eisenhuth. He had Rocco on his outside. Finds his front though. So the momentum with the Tigers at the moment. Rocco, 30, 20 metres out. Again to Eisenhuth. He's been great for the Tigers this afternoon. McGilrick, Marshall, Masters. The Roosters defence is holding solid. So the last tackle, Thompson, Marshall, they're going to run it. Eisenhuth, Lolohea puts it on the toe. They're chasing hard. Tedesco gets it.
You see how he tracked them, Tedesco, just following the ball right across the field. They put the grubber through and he's right there on the spot.
They're playing some patient football there, the West Tigers, but for mine, the only option is to go for the kick. Don't be surprised to see their middle third come back on the Roosters. I thought when those big boppers went off the field that they certainly lost some momentum.
Tenafano. Orbison. So he finds his front, gets up quickly. Cronk inside the 40 or out. I think he might have been just out. Doesn't matter because it's straight down to Lolohea. So 20 minutes gone, 2-2.
Let it go now, Jake. He's gone forward. Play it there, Corey.
So Thompson struggling for every metre. So Cheekham is on. Twal steps off his right, trying to get on the inside of Liu. Now Masters out from dummy half. That's a good run. So sloppy around the play, the ball, the Roosters on the last tackle, working for a repeat. Brooks has got runners inside and out. Goes nowhere. Naguama's going to have to tidy this up, and he's knocked it on, and it comes off Ferguson.
Here? Brooks, yes, where you are. Right here.
Well, Napa, he hit Brooks on the inside.
Going for a little bit of inside pressure here.
Just having a look at the no try again there, Tedesco. The first
close.
hand on the ball there from Cornish.
So Blocker, Bedsy, who at this 20 minutes to go at 2-2 on either side, who are they looking to?
Well, it's really hard to describe what this match is. A word, come up for a word with this match. It's difficult to know where the points are going to come from, but obviously this is where they think both teams think they're going to come from, is kicking goals. The attack is really clunky. Both teams under different sort of phases in their teams. New coach Ivan Cleary wants to do a little different things in attack, and obviously the Roosters looks like they're going under a big overhaul of their attack as well. So it's going to take some weeks, but the attitude looks like it's going to get probably the Tigers home.
Well, I'd be looking to get some early ball to Latrell Mitchell. Only 3 hit-ups in the game, and one was from dummy half. So starved of possession. The Tigers will hit the front here.
Corey alluded to the fact that There's a couple still to come back on for the Roosters. Waria Hargreaves in particular, who was strong up the middle. So he'll play a part in getting momentum back with the Roosters at some point when he comes back on. But you've got to say, neither side with a ball in their hands when they've been down in an attacking situation has looked all that promising.
And Trent Robinson's gone to his bench here, boys. Victor Radley's gone on. He's looking for a little bit of spark around that middle third of the field, and don't be surprised that that man, Waria Hargreaves, to come back on with some of those nice direct charges. We've heard Bedsy saying the call and play upstream. I think that's what they got to do. Generate some quick ruck speed and play off the back of that.
You're right, Corey. That one man that can create a little bit of buzz out there. It's Victor Radley. Very intense in attack and defence. Creates something. He gets his chance. Only young, 21-year-old. Big future. Signed for a few years there at Bondi.
So Latrell Mitchell to get us underway. 17.5 minutes left to play. The West Tigers 4, the Roosters 2. Here we go. Eisenhuth. And now we got a penalty. That's exactly what the Roosters didn't want. It was Takiaho over the front, was it?
Yeah, zero tackle too. Kick downfield. And away they go again now, the Tigers.
It's not a very happy coach's box up there. Here we go with Lawrence. It's a good run. So the body language of the Tigers just looks a bit better at the moment than the Roosters. 12.
Just had a lot of ball, haven't they, in the second half, the Tigers. Grinding away, completing. They've done well.
Eisenhuth, second man play. Marshall leaves it behind him.
Knock on.
How's that a knock on?
The team to come off Benji into a Roosters player. It's an instant knock on. Comes off Benji and comes into Latrell there.
There you go.
Not a bad place for a turnover too, because the Roosters haven't been down the other end yet. They get their opportunity to do it right now.
That's it, Matt. Let's go, Matt. Lock him up, Tui.
In there, Victor.
Hold with us.
Tui, nice and tight.
Hold with us.
Okay, clock off. Here we go now, Cooper.
Wait, guys. Wait.
Out. Good.
Here we go with Tedesco, Tupou. So what can the Roosters come up with good field position really for the first time in this second half? Takiaho leaves Lawrence on the floor. Cooper Cronk, Cornish. Benji Marshall got up quick and stopped that. It's good defence from the Tigers. Radley.
Let him up.
Alex Michael.
Cronk, short ball to Cordner. Well read by Rocco. Now Waria Hargreaves is back on. He's looking. Last tackle. Will go to Cronk. No, Tedesco. Onto Orbison. Onto Manu. Onto Ferguson. And that's the first try. Too many numbers.
Happy, mate.
Happy. Zed.
There we go.
Yeah, they got stripped of numbers there with the West Tigers out on that left edge. Looked very short. But a couple of offloads in the previous play. Just simple through the hands. Orbison again to Manu. Just an easy touchdown for Blake Ferguson in that corner.
Well, Orbison's a man. Two-pass runner. He gets the football on the outside of Tedesco. Engages two players to come in to make the tackle. And there's no better man to score the try and finish it. And deservedly so too for Ferguson.
Well, in this
been
match,
outstanding for the Roosters.
in this match, we've only had 3 line breaks. And that man on screen, he's got the 3 of them.
You know what, too, Danny? You can put it down to Radley, too. As soon as he came on, the little 20-metre run up the middle of the third of the field, that set it up for the Roosters.
I guess playing on the back of a play the ball that's quick. I think you see a lot of times now we just play off the back of a neutral play the ball or a slow play the ball, and it's hard to get someone one-on-one or throws to some space. But play off the play the ball that's quick, away you go.
So Latrell Mitchell has a difficult kick from way out. So in the end, it was just numbers. With about 13 and a half minutes left to play after the kick.
And no panic too from Orbison there. Beautiful play. We were just mentioning a little bit earlier what a pro he is there. Didn't panic. Catch and pass on the outside. The Roosters are over.
And he's such a versatile player for them. Equally as comfortable in the centre as he is in the second row. That was beautiful hands, caught and passed in one motion. And Amano went on to Ferguson. So Mitchell from way out. Strikes it, it's going to come around. He's got it. Down to Hannah. Hollis on the sideline.
It's so noisy, I can barely hear you, Maddie. Strong crowds continue in round one here at ANZ Stadium. I don't know if it's the weather or Benji being home, but everyone is on the bus. 18,243 of them.
Thank you, Hannah. So 8-4.
Latrell Mitchell finds himself in a new position, kicking goals this year with the departure of Michael Gordon up to the Titans. He struck him really well today. A bit of confidence for the season ahead.
Hey, Bedsy, I'll throw this up to you, mate. The West Tigers have found themselves behind on the scoreboard. For mine in that first half, they looked really, really good when they'll have some second phase going on. Do you think that's what they've got to do to get back in this game?
You're right, Cos. There's a lot of play out the back, all those sort of plays, those shapes, but play through them with offloads, a lot of energy. They've got a lot of energy in their defence, but a bit more energy just playing around the ball, a bit of ad-lib stuff. I think that's a real style that would suit these Tigers and might get them home.
Tedavano up over the 40-metre line. So springing their step now, the Roosters with Takiaho up over halfway, rolls onto his stomach, plays the ball quickly. Now Warrior Hargreaves. So this is a good set of six. There's some spring in their step. Cronk puts it in the air. Mano leaps for it, he gets it back, fires it onto Orbison. And underneath was Nguama.
It's definitely been the most potent side for the Roosters today. Through the kick and also through the hands is the right side. Some great targets there. Definitely some good targets out on this side too on the left. With Mitchell and Tupu.
To see it again.
Beautiful play from Joseph Mano.
Packer, he's back on. Lockie were very impressed with him in the first half.
I just like to see the way that he takes him on. It's been a long spell off.
It has.
The Packer.
There we go.
Here we go with Lolohea.
Get on board that one now. Just keep flooding the middle.
What a difference a quick play the ball makes. Now Marshall. This is Cheekham. Down on to Masters. Tries to run over the top of Tedesco and he's taken. So another quick play the ball. Brooks goes back down the short side and Tedesco gets the ball. But that was good play from the West Tigers down the right-hand side of the field.
Oh, that was good play from both Brooks and Benji Marshall. Benji Marshall tipped him up on it. He went right down on that paint there, right on the sideline. What nearly was a 4-point play.
It was an interesting play, Bedsy, because out on the left-hand side, the Roosters were shot.
Yes. They've got overcalled. The two halves always run the show.
Takiaho. Hargreaves, short ball on a Liu. Now Cronk well inside the 40-metre line, but it's straight down the middle. And here's Lolohea. Gets around Cordner, trying to step inside Mitchell. So good field position for the first tackle. Thompson. Fires it back. Marshall. Godinay's back on. Watani Zalesniak.
Oh, how good is it? The game's starting to open up now. Here we go.
10 to go. A little offload starting to creep into the game. With the tightness.
Oh, he's passed it back and Leo's got it. That's exactly what they didn't need, the Tigers. They had some momentum. They were moving forward. Ferguson. Rocco comes up with some good contact. Manages to stay on his feet, Ferguson. Radley. Takiaho. Frank, Orbison. They work down that right-hand side again. We've got a penalty here. He's going to penalise Brooks for going high.
You used it as a lever, mate. You were there, and you used it as a lever.
It's good around the neck there. And a bad pass, an offload there, error into a penalty, into a set start now for the Roosters.
Chris Lawrence coming off, has worked tirelessly so far. 28 tackles.
He's building nicely there for the Tigers.
It was, Betsy, and
It's all gone out now. The bit of wind's gone out of the sails.
a loose pass from Eisenhuth. Takiaha goes strong. So they'll do well to keep him out here. Hargreaves. Madalino over the top. Sorry, Packer. Cronk. Second man play to Tedesco, and he is belted by Masters, and he loses the ball. So now some emotion coming into it with the West Tigers.
Tell you what, that's a great read from Masters. A little play, they would have been checking that out over last week. I'm sure they would have ran that in the trial. Oh, it was actually Benji Marshall.
Good contact from Benji.
Benji Marshall with that left shoulder.
And then Masters over the top.
Find him up.
Well, Masters has been good all game, boys. He's worked tirelessly out on this edge. He's had 15 runs, 4 offloads, which has been the key for the West Tigers. I think more of that in this last 7 minutes.
Get him involved.
Here he is with the ball now. So they force him back. He's held. So they've got to work off their line. Cheekham. Got an 8. Packer. He shot over the top from Radley. Marshall. Beautiful hands from Lolohea onto Masters. Beats 2.
Good footwork.
So he's been dangerous, Essen Masters. Benji. Taylor. Elijah Taylor taking over the top all and all. And a good tackle from Orbison. Now Brooks puts it on the toe. He's going to find the line. So a good set from the Tigers.
Yeah, gee, the game's opened up, hasn't it? The last 10 minutes. Both sides really got a chance their hand now, the Tigers. I know they come up with a little error only a couple of minutes ago. They've got to try something. You can't just go through the motions.
You can't go into your shell block, that's for sure. The game is on the line. You see people walking. You can walk in 6 minutes time, 6 minutes 30.
Okay, you can stand
Front
up.
load your effort. See if you can come away with a real upset here at ANZ.
So after this, don't forget, we're headed to the Wild West for the first match of the doubleheader. It's the Rabbitohs and the Warriors. And after that, Canterbury Bulldogs and the Melbourne Storm. But we've got 6.5 minutes left to play here. It's 8-4. Ferguson has been one of their best, if not the best. Tedovano.
He's provided some highlights. Couple line breaks.
It's dangerous every time he touches the ball or any time he's in the air. Warrior Hargreaves. Looking to offload. Now Tedesco. It's where he likes to run off a flat off a quick play the ball. Cronk. He's going to put that into the corner. And Watani Zalesniak lets it go.
Same sort of tactics of the Tigers in the first half when they had a man 10 minutes in the sin bin. Benji Marshall took over. He knows how to close out a game. This bloke, Cooper Cronk, only 5.5 minutes left on the clock. Kicks the ball into touch. They just dawdle up to the scrum, the Roosters. Well, who wants the ball for the Tigers? Lolohea is a dangerous player. Benji Marshall can come away with something.
Down this right edge of Masters. Lolohea. Benji looks comfortable down here.
That's where they look dangerous. Elijah Taylor. Cheekham. He offloads.
That's it.
Taylor. Now Masters. Steps off the right. Still looking, gets it away to Thompson. So Thompson into the backfield. He's got Lola here.
Just passed a little bit early, Thompson. Didn't really commit. Tedesco did a great job, Tedesco.
Brooks. Eisenhuth. So it's only the third tackle. Brooks again. Back inside to Marshall. Still going, Benji. Fires it out now to Thompson. He made the line break. He puts it on the toe. Tedesco's got it inside. He's going to get out of the field of play.
I reckon we'll see a penalty here.
Yeah, there's going to be a penalty, I reckon, too. Blocked down the sideline. Corey Thompson has been outstanding this game. Just got tied up with the cameraman, to be honest. A little bit of a late shove after that kick.
It's one way of getting your melon on the telly. Oh.
So.
Do you know what? In real pace, could he have pulled out of that? I don't know. Anyway, here we go. Game on.
For a touch.
So 3 minutes, nearly 4 minutes left to play. Marshall, Taylor. So the Roosters defensively with it all to do at the moment. This is Packer. Got it flat off Gordonay. Taylor. So they're working for something here. They've got options both sides. They go to the left with Brooks. Inside ball to Rocco. He's still going. Offloads to Gordonay. Now to Lolohea. To Cheekham. He still unloads. So the ball's still alive. Marshall picks it up. Now to Eisenhuth. Not going anywhere though.
And they keep going.
They've gone back the other way to Taylor. The Lolohea bounces off Cheekham. It's play on. Thompson! He's in! I think he got it down. Corey Thompson, who's been magnificent for the West Tigers. Well.
General. This will be tackle 5.
Try. He's got a try.
Can you confirm there's no knock on through there with a touch on the Tigers? It just comes off his head.
Well, how did he get the ball down to start with? We'll see it come off one of the Tigers' heads. That's play on. Lolohea comes in and makes the extra man. Tries to throw the cutout pass. Hitting's on the melon. That's play on. No hands on that. Tries to duck out of the way.
The ball comes off Michael Cheekham's head. It doesn't touch your hand, so it's play on at this stage. Corey Thompson picks it up from an onside position.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
And grounds the ball. We have a decision.
Wow. Well, just in the last 10 minutes, Corey Thompson, we were talking about Nofaluma not playing, but this kid has absolutely justified his position on the wing.
Well, there's a reason why Nofaluma's not playing, because of the trial form and the way he's been training. Corey Thompson had a year over there in the English Super League with the Widnes Vikings. Just stood him up, stood Tupu still. That was enough for Thompson just to get around the outside.
That's great play.
Bangs it down with the right hand.
Just great speed. The stop-start. Explosive, off the mark. Tupou couldn't do anything but try to push him in the touch.
So Lolohea has an opportunity here to edge the West Tigers ahead with 2 minutes, 12, 11, 10.
I'm going to tell you something, boys. This main grandstand right behind me, up on their feet. They're going to ride this one home.
So here we go. If he doesn't kick this, you'd think we're going to go into Golden Point for the second time in the weekend. Lolohea. In he comes. Strikes it. It looks good. He's kicked it. He's kicked it, and the West Tigers go to 10-8 with 1:30 to go. And the crowd are on their feet. Look at it in front of us, Blocker.
How good is it? Look at that. The sea of orange and black.
So here we go. Taylor waving them down. We've got a minute 27. Salola here with a pressure kick from the sideline.
Ziggy.
So what's Mitchell going to do here?
Cover the back.
They're going to go short, Bedsy.
Yeah, definitely. They need that. They need the ball. Need possession.
So it goes nice and high. Flying forward. Well done, Watani Zalesniak.
What a take.
Under pressure. Rocco. Hargraves races in. So they can play it down here. Packer, who's been great. So the crowd are on their feet here at ANZ. Eisenhuth.
How good's he been? Workaholic.
Been fantastic. But Godinay slowing it down. Elijah Taylor, who's been brilliant as well. So the last tackle, 49 tackles for this man, Elijah Taylor.
What skill from Latrell. Outstanding.
Here we go. Shift.
30
Roosters.
seconds.
Here they go. Cordner, Tedovano. So Benji's idea was right. It was just a freakish skill and reflex. Now Tedesco. 10 seconds left. They roll into his back. Cronk. That's forward to Mitchell. Play on.
Offside.
What do we got here? He says it's a knock on, and we got full time here. So round 1, 2018, the West Tigers get away to a great start with a 10-8 win over the Sydney Roosters. And Benji Marshall, who came in late for Josh Reynolds, has been fantastic. They've all been great.
Welcome home, Benji. They built that win on the back of some really tough attitude in their defence. Worked so hard for each other. Snuffed out anything that the Roosters threw at them.